as I said earlier, was built by this man, Jimmy Verbeeck, in 1921. Mr. Verbeeck was a minor organ builder at that time. That was the golden age of organ construction, and much larger firms were in business of constructing organs like this, Gavioli and Mortier for one. So what Mr. Verbeeck did to sell his organ is he had to be a little bit better and a little bit cheaper. And one of the things he did that made him noteworthy in the period was his pipe work. To an organ builder, the organ pipe is like the colors on a painter's canvas. It's what they use to create the voice and the sound to make the organ come to life. So Verbeeck, his choice of woods and the way he constructed these pipes give it an outstanding sound in the fairground type organ arena. There are, in the melody range, there's only 17 notes that play. Yet there's 102 pipes in the melody range playing the melody. And that's what gives it that extraordinary sound that it has. In an organ like this, there's 4 tracks of music. There's a bass register of music, which gives it that oompa sound that you hear. There's an accompaniment, which just plays along and guides the melody. Then there's the main melody, which plays on all these lovely violin pipes you see here. And a countermelody, which you may have noticed, and you'll hear little whistles and things like that, and they complement the main melody. The organ was used in a steam-driven carousel that was toured around England for many, many years since it was built. The carousel was eventually auctioned off in 1986, and from what I understand, the horses off the carousel were sold out privately to somebody who collects them, and then the carousel ended up going back to England, and new horses were put on, so it's still in use. So they'd probably like to have the organ, but that's not going to work. That's not going to work out because here it is in Pennsylvania. And I don't know if any of you noticed, but the organ plays. This is the music for it. It plays these folding cardboard books, and that's the software for this type of thing. So anyway, Verbeeck was a craftsman, an artisan in the organ field, and then our other organ here is a Mortier, and that would be on the other end of the spectrum. Mortier was the largest manufacturer of cafe, fairground organs back in the heyday of the organ field. This is made out of the best hardwood, the finest pipework, and it's a more sophisticated organ than the Verbeeck. This one has 61 keys. This one has 84 keys. It has many more controls to switch the different ranks of pipes on and off. When you listen to a Mortier organ, you're listening to what they call a cafe or dance organ sound. It's meant to be played in a setting, a cafe where people will be sitting around eating and drinking and dancing. The organ at one point had all of its covers removed, and its as-built appearance, these were stained glass panels, and the organ itself was entirely encased in a wooden box. So when the organ played, it was kind of a subdued sound. And then there were shutters on here that would open and close to allow the sound to come out when they wanted to amplify it. So we have it here all open so people can see the pipe work and so on. So let me play a song on here, also a familiar tune. And one of the lovely things about a Mortier is there's a warbling effect that the organ plays from time to time. And that's in the melody range. There's 2 separate warbling effects. One affects the whole melody, and the other affects just one rank of pipes called the jazz flutes. This organ was built around 1916. Isn't that something, all the different voices and sounds that thing has? This is, Mr. Mortier was not really an organ craftsman. He was a businessman and a cafe owner, and he hired the very best people to do his organ work for him and construct these fine machines. The company lasted until about 1952, and then the company was liquidated. A lot of these organs were remanufactured and brought to the Netherlands, where they became what they called street organs in the Netherlands. Some of them were modified to look like that. That organ over there may have started out its life looking something like this, and then as styles changed, they converted them to the Art Deco sound or Art Deco look or something else. So anyway, we're going to play some more organ music and just have a nice time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done.